What about retaining? So research indicates that one fifth of companies offer only the benefits mandated by law, and benefits is, I think, just one piece of the puzzle to create more diverse organizations. But when it comes to benefits, um, what's your thinking? Having worked for various organizations, and those that were particularly good as well at retaining diverse talent, what additional benefits should companies provide to their employees to attract and retain diverse talent that you're not seeing many yet doing?
Yeah, I think just doing the bare minimum just isn't good enough
Mm,
anymore, to be honest. I think we're seeing all the big corporations and the medium ones, the small ones, I'm sure will follow. Obviously, budgets are important, but are starting to innovate their diversity benefits or their just general benefits much more than they've ever done before. And I think that's because the workplace is getting so much more competitive, and actually finding that diverse talent is difficult, right? So actually getting your benefits right, and then creating a culture that kind of keeps those people and makes them feel included and needed and wanted and good about themselves, right? That is so important. So I think on the benefits, some of the main things that I'm seeing and that I certainly looked for in my next company was flexible working, both in
mhm,
times of hours you work and where you're working from. I think COVID changed that for a lot of people, kind of showed them what work life can be like, and it can be so much better balance where you're not in the office between specific hours, where you can't get to a doctor's appointment, you can't take a personal call, you can't get to a dentist appointment. For those with kids, right, you can't pick your kids up, drop your kids off. It creates all that stress. Whereas I think companies that offer the kind of, there's this culture of trust, you've got a good manager who knows what you're responsible for and knows whether you're delivering or not. So quite honestly, we don't care where you are, what you're
mm,
doing, where you're working from, the hours that you're working, as long as that work's getting done, and your manager should have a good sense of where that work's getting done. We're happy with it. That I think is a big benefit that a lot of people are looking for now, right? Just because of
mm,
added flexibility that it brings to your life, like being able to work out more, being able to spend more time with your kids, being able
mm,
to get to those medical appointments, right? It makes a big
mm,
difference. I think then the kind of parental leave, right, is a big one that we're seeing a lot of companies become more generous with, and being inclusive in that parental policy, right? So being very mindful of the language that you use and how that policy impacts people that are starting their families in perhaps slightly non-traditional ways, right? So
mhm,
same-sex parents, what is that policy for the birth parent versus the non-birth parent, right? Parents who adopt, right? What is the
mhm,
policy for those adoption parents? Now, historically, there's been very little protection or benefit for the non-birth parent and for an adopting parent, right? But I think that is starting to change.
mhm,
Parental leave as well, right? Is
mhm,
assume that the birth parent, the mother, is the one that's going to want to take all that time off, right? So in
mhm,
my situation, I'm in a same-sex relationship. I will not be the one, whether I carry a child or not, I will not be the one that's wanting to take a big chunk of maternity leave, right? So
mhm,
finding a company that offers that flexibility will be really important for us. Um,
mhm,
then finally, I'd say inclusive healthcare. And this is something that actually I had to lobby pretty hard at McKinsey for. So whilst McKinsey do a lot of things very, very well, and I feel incredibly lucky to have been able to start my career there. One thing that we realized they maybe didn't do so well is their healthcare coverage is very, very good. They look after the people that work for them very well, but
mhm,
that healthcare coverage fell down when it came to same-sex relationships or trans colleagues,